Logic, School of Management. It is simple logic.
Welcome to another episode of Logic School of Management presents Business Sense. Business Sense is business and essence combined together. It is an entrepreneurial conversation in these COVID times. And my guest is a very, very eminent person, a very sought after person, a businessman, an industrialist, an entrepreneur, and somebody who has begun his career and life from absolute scratch. Today, he's one of the most well-known industrialist and businessman of Kerala. And his name is Mr. E.M. Najeeb. Mr. E.M. Najeeb is a founder, chairman, and managing director of Air Travel Enterprises. There's so many companies that he's associated with. I will tell some of them. Great India Infology, Great India Tour Company, Chrysalis Communication, Great India Aviation Services, KIMS, which is one of the most sought after medical institutions of Kerala, Kerala Institute of Medical Sciences, and its affiliates across multiple footprint that they have. And he dwells in, again, multiple verticals and segments such as travel, tourism, healthcare, hospitality, information technology, advertising and PR, events, exports, logistics, and you name it. So I have somebody with vast experience in all facets of business and entrepreneurship in front of me. And I definitely do consider it as a real God-given privilege to talk to Mr. A.M. Najeeb. And I haven't done this so far. So I'm a little apprehensive as to how this interview will go, but I'll try my best. I know that, I have a person.
No, thank you very much for that wonderful introduction, Mr. Nair. You are a great friend of mine for a long time, so you have to say good things about me. I appreciate that, and thank you for inviting me to talk to on this session, and thank you for this great opportunity.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Najeeb. Okay, sir, so there's so many sectors and businesses that you're part of, so and to take you into one sector and to ask questions, but all the while. You have been instrumental. You have been, in Malayalam we call a word called Adhigayan. We have very limited number of people like that. So you are one person who had been Adhigayan in the field of travel and tourism. Okay, and it is more than about 4 decades that you have built up this enterprise from the scratch and then built it over, and then many other segments and verticals you got added. So I heard you speaking to one of those interviews that you gave it to the press, in which you said, travel and tourism is a sector that is affected by COVID first, and travel and tourism is a sector that is going to be relieved of problems of COVID in future. So, you said it all. So, what do you feel? What is your take on this? Travel and tourism going to be greatly affected by this pandemic called the COVID, sir. Please.
Thank you for it's a very good question to start with. See, in my life, when I have selected travel and tourism as my career and profession, I never ever dreamt that such a situation will come for travel and tourism. I thought it's an everlasting business. It's a wonderful business. It's the world's largest business. The world's largest employment earner. It's the world's largest foreign exchange earner. And in many ways, it's world's largest and number one in the world.
Yes.
But the COVID-19 and the lockdown has completely demolished travel and tourism.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Because this is the first affected and the last to recover. That's the sentence here, last to recover. But today, everybody is in a different mode of their life. I like the way you have put it in one of the sessions, the Thai sessions, because it's a zero start for all of us. It's a rebirth for all of us after so many years of experience and life of ours.
Yes,
it is absolutely you're right, because even travel and tourism also has to be everyone will be starting at the zero level after this COVID-19, because it's going to be completely changed like many other sectors, but travel and tourism will be more so because of the nature of the business. The airlines have to restart their travel, their activities. They have to fly between countries and between states and between destinations.
Yep.
And then the lockdown restrictions have to go. The quarantine restrictions have to go.
Yes.
Even after that, there will be problem for people to travel because of two things. One is the apprehensions have to go.
Absolutely.
Because, apprehensions is the most important thing. It has to go. Then again, the second thing is, and the most important thing is, people should have floating money to travel. Because travel is not an essential thing, especially holiday travel is not an inevitable thing at all.
Yes.
So people will spend money for holidays probably towards as a last resort, because people will have a lot of primary and prioritized matters for them to spend.
Yes.
Probably business travel will start with for in the beginning, and that too very, very essential business travel. Because today all of us have learned the technology very well, and we can sit here and talk to anyone in the world. Do our business in no time. Yeah. And everybody prefers that probably because of the the enjoyment which we have all had for the last 1.5 months at home situations. So I think travel and tourism will have to come back. It has to come back because it's going to be still. I believe that it's going to be an everlasting business after the lockdown period comes back, because airlines have to travel, people have to travel, for business and holidays. When it restarts, because the question is that where will you go? That's a question which is going to come in everybody's mind, because you will think, can we go to Europe, or can we go to UK, or can we go to America? Or people from there, they will think whether they can go to South Africa, or they can go to China, or they can go to India. So these questions, or Singapore, or Taiwan, or Thailand. So these questions will come in the minds of people. In today's context, India stands a better chance for people to travel, because India is one of the most successful countries which has carried out the handling of COVID very well. And Kerala has become the #1 state in that respect in India, and which is the Kerala's efforts have been very well appreciated by everyone who has known about Kerala, who has experienced about Kerala, especially the foreigners who have been staying here for the last so many days, and most of them have gone back with their special flights and things like that. But during their stay, the tourism industry, the government of Kerala, the Department of Tourism, everybody looked after them very well.
Very well,
the people have been sick, they have been treated very well and sent them back. Not one foreigner died in this country. It's the greatest in this state. It's the greatest thing which has happened for our lifetime. Because we are proud of that, for saving everyone who has come back for a holiday. They are all going back, as in safe situations. So this is the basic situation. I just want to assess about your question.
Right. Okay. So, you also said that, travel and tourism is also, we call it as a force multiplier. So many other businesses are linked to that. It is travel, it is domestic travel, it is taxi services, it is food services, catering services, entertainment services, guide and other services. Everything gets connected. So something get closed means everything connected, else connected is getting closed. It is almost similar to our real estate. When you start building houses, so many businesses get connected. The banking business gets connected, the steel business gets connected, the cement business get connected, everything get connected. So travel, that way, suppose if you have one, the connection will be another 10. So force multiplier factor of travel and tourism is so high. And a state like Kerala, which is completely dependent upon a good amount of its earning coming from travel and tourism, don't you think that we are in for some level of a peril? Don't we think that we are in some level of a trouble as days ahead?
No, you're right. Absolutely, you're right, because the face of the business is travel and tourism. But as you rightly said, travel and tourism means it starts with airline, it starts with hotel, then it starts with tour operators, transport operators, then the taxi drivers, the tourist drivers, the guides. Then you look at the food suppliers, the vegetable suppliers, the meat suppliers, the rice suppliers, all the consumable segment. Then from there, going for the artists, the artisans and the artists and the artifacts and the mementos, souvenirs, and the destination, when you go to your destination, like for example, you go to Kovalam,
Yeah.
there are so small people, unorganized sector, they are living on tourism. You go to Munnar, you go to Cochin, any destination in India or anywhere in the world, there are a lot of people who are actually living in the living because of tourism. It's
Yes.
all multiple segments,
Yes.
and direct and completely indirect. Probably if you look at the phase, the indirect employment is much more than the direct employment.
You are
And
right.
the
Yes.
indirect livelihood is much more than the direct livelihood. So if the tourism or travel and tourism is affected, that means a whole lot of segments of people or sectors have been affected because of this situation. You are absolutely right. That's why the reflection of the effects of travel and tourism is continuing with the lowest strata of our people, our life, and that is actually very sad. In many other sectors, it's not so wide, but in tourism, it is so wide, and every segment has been affected from top to bottom.
Top to bottom. You're right. Yes. Therefore, sir, now I have seen that, now you're a busy person because so many places, so many governing bodies, so many governmental bodies, so many NGO bodies, everybody actually seeks your opinion as to what to do in this interim period. So what is it that specifically the state government and the central government planning to do for the travel and tourism segment? Any specific idea are they emerging out, or what are the advices that you're giving it to them, sir?
Actually, it's a very, very, very pertinent question, Mr. Nair, you're asking, because today the governments are talking about the people,
Yes.
People who are in distress,
Yes.
directly in distress because of this situation.
Yeah.
And they have to be given priority. There is no doubt about that.
Yes.
And the government is feeding them, looking after them, giving pensions, giving different welfare schemes, and looking after them. But unfortunately, nobody is talking about the business segments. Of course, RBI has come out with some relief for temporary relief, like repayments and for loans and interest, and some additional facilities for the banks to lend and everything. But that is definitely not enough. If you look at the travel and tourism, the whole of India, 5.8 crores of people are working in this travel and tourism in India.
That's more than 50 million people, 5
That's more than 50 million people. Around 60 million people are working there.
Yes.
Yeah. In Kerala, it's about 1.5 million people.
My goodness.
Right?
It's a huge number.
It's one of the largest employment, and also all of us know that it's a 10% GDP of Kerala.
Yes.
So if that situation, government should actually give priority to ensure that the business is retained, or the sector is protected, because unless these employees are looked after, they will not be able to sustain, and they will not be able to move forward. Look at the entrepreneurs. Around 15,000 entrepreneurs in Kerala holding on to 15 lakhs people who are working in the sector.
Right.
15,000 entrepreneurs who have invested 4 to 5 lakhs crores of rupees in this segment in Kerala alone. I'm talking about
Kerala alone. Yes.
In Kerala alone. If the employees are not protected, and if the employers are not protected, the business will die down.
Yes.
Because unless
10% of the GDP, that is actually
10% of the GDP, 45,000 crores of revenue, and more than 10,000 crores of revenue, foreign exchange earning in 2018 in Kerala alone.
Yes.
So if that kind of a situation, and the estimate by the faith is the Federation of all associations of India, all tourism, they have estimated 3.8 million job loss. If the lockdown situation continues and the recovery is taking time. So we have represented the finance ministry, prime minister, here the tourism minister and chief minister, and the Ministry of Tourism officials, that this industry has to be looked after very well, should be protected.
Yes.
We have suggested very many things. One is a subsistence allowance to carry on the actual expenses of the people who are working in this segment till the business is recovering.
Yes.
See, what the hospitality sector has suggested, a 9,000 rupees subsistence allowance for all the employees in this sector. That's a basic minimum, and more than, and whatever additional the employer can give it, they can give it. the government has to produce this.
Yes.
This is one request we have made. I have made another request is that, give a soft loan to the industry.
Yes.
So, because we all know that government doesn't have kind of money which can be given to people like that, because they are struggling to give 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees to people who are as a welfare scheme, the pensioners and everything.
Yes, it is. Yes.
So I said, you do one thing, you come out with a loan, soft loan,
yes,
for the employers and employees, for them to carry on with a low cost interest.
Okay.
That actually Kerala government is considering. I believe that Kerala government is coming out with a scheme of 100 crores to start with, a soft loan with a 3% interest cost.
Okay.
The actual cost is 9% and 6% government will subsidize for the tourism industry.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, that is it. And that is from their planned fund. They will spend that money.
Yep.
But 3% the people have to pay, whoever is taking the loan, they have to pay, which is absolutely reasonable.
Very reasonable, yes.
But 100 crores may be enough or not, that's the second question, because at least to start with, people can look after with that money for April and May. Then, wait and watch the situation. Then we can look at other options. Then we have asked for a series of things like, for example, the hoteliers having the electricity connections, and there is a fixed charge and there is an actual charge. So waive off all the fixed charges because we are not utilizing it.
Yes.
And there is no income for us.
Yes.
So give us, but government has given an extension for payment of fixed charges till September.
Okay.
But definitely that is not enough, because even September, this business will not recover. In my opinion, this business will recover, international tourism business will recover only by 2021 September. Because that is the next season. Because then only things will be stabilized. And by the time, probably with the grace of God, the vaccine also.
Has to come.
Yeah,
vaccine has to come.
Yeah, because that's a critical factor for the survival of this industry. So we have to carry. That means we have to carry on to 10 to 12 months from now onwards, or little more than that, 12 to 18 months of time.
12 to 18 months. Yes.
No
yes.
entrepreneur under any circumstances will be able to look after the staff members till such time. All
by himself.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the reserve for that, actually.
Correct. Nobody will have the kind of resource, because it's all floating money, and that's the way people are living in this business. And the investment, almost about 75% of the total investment will be from the bank loans only.
Yes, it is.
So it is impossible for anyone to survive that kind of period. So it is important that Government of India and Government of Kerala should come out with practical plans to support the industry and ensure the employees survive, the employers survive. Both.
I get you. I think it's almost an impossible task, but then you have already given the suggestions, and partially Kerala government is amenable to that, and we also need to see the Union Ministry. They're also accepting this because international travel, etc. involved. Now, just a question. It may be actually a question. It may be a stupid question. I'm sorry for asking, telling this.
No.
Right. See, what about the domestic traveler? Will we be able to get some domestic travelers to fill in this gap? Because, as you say, waiting up to 2021 September, it's a long wait. Nobody is having that level of a sustainability, and maybe some level of a subsidy coming, which can just see that we are surviving. So, is there a possibility of encouraging some level of a domestic tourism, sir? Domestic travel tourism?
No, I think you're asking the right questions. I'm very happy. I'm very happy because that's always in my mind. See, the answer for temporary relief is only domestic tourism.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, only domestic tourism. Because in India, the domestic tourism is a huge segment.
Yes.
And segment. Our Prime Minister himself has requested everyone to travel inside India and make sure that you visit all the places in India and have a great holiday in India, because in my opinion, out of my experience and travel to many of the countries in the world, if you look at all the attractions in India one side, and look at all the other attractions on the other side, probably still India will be better with the attractions. Far more attractions in India will be there. And so
I totally agree with you, but we hardly sell our attractions, We
actually hardly sell. We promote few destinations, but we don't really hard sell and hardly sell.
That is right. I say we don't do anything. So
domestic tourism is the answer for the problem or a solution for the temporary issues.
Yes.
But domestic tourism also will have obstacles.
Yes.
For example, today the states are acting like countries now.
Yes.
And when you go to the state, inside the state, the districts are acting like states now.
States now. Yes.
States now. So people don't allow one person from Trivandrum to travel to Kollam or
Yes.
Kollam to travel to Alleppey.
Yes.
So because every district is blocked with brick and mortars and people are stuck with that.
Yes.
So all these restrictions have to go, and then only people will travel. Apprehensions have to go, then only people will travel. And people can travel. Probably about 4 to 5 months time, or coming to Deepavali, the domestic travel should be smooth to a great extent. But there is another opportunity in the domestic tourism itself. There is another opportunity. If you look at the domestic tourism in Kerala, 60% of the domestic tourism arrivals in Kerala is from Kerala.
Oh, I see. That's interesting.
That's a finding which is very, very important finding which we have noticed now.
Oh, I see. Okay.
There is a good possibility for Kerala to survive because we can capitalize on this segment and move forward. Plus, the Kerala has got much more potential because of the wellness tourism, the Ayurveda, the yoga, the meditation, and connected activities can also accelerate the domestic tourism in a big way, and that's the good prospects in this critical or in this crisis situation.
Okay. Sir, you're also a person connected not only to travel, tourism, hospitality, but also healthcare. One of the finest of medical institutions in the country. Okay. And of course, having much multi-footprint across the state of Kerala and outside is built by you and your brother, and it is run. And we hear all very good things about it, even including the cooperation that is extended by your medical institution to the government and other places. Now, what do you think are the prospects related to the healthcare segment in the coming time, sir? What do you think are the prospects of healthcare segment actually?
No, the healthcare segment is also affected because of this COVID-19.
Yeah.
Because the people could not travel, and people have been relying on the hospitals only on medical emergencies.
Yes.
So our businesses have come down 25% level, and and now slowly it is coming back improving situation.
Okay.
So the healthcare sector now, people will be much more health conscious.
Indeed.
Because of this COVID-19, people are aware about the importance, much more aware about the importance of protecting their health as a first and foremost thing.
Yeah.
So that way, any hospital who is promoting a proactive healthcare delivery, that is looking after the preventive health kind of thing, will survive very well. Will survive very well. So it's an opportunity for people as well as the institutions to promote the healthcare delivery system differently to benefit the community. This is the most important thing. So it's always good for the hospital also, because if the people are disciplined, the number of diseases will come down.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and then the crowd or the people will come down. So the people who come for medical attention will get much more attention than the previous time. Either it be in the private sector or in the government sector. Otherwise, look at the medical colleges, 5,000, 7,000 outpatients a day with a limited number of doctors, and doctors seeing about 150 to 250 patients every day. What kind of attention you can get it?
Yeah, the quality treatment doesn't happen. Yes.
Yeah, same thing in the private health sector also. A private sector doctor also, a good doctor will also see at least about 60 to 70 to 90 patients a day. You cannot do justice on that. So it is important that, and also the ratio of healthcare in terms of number of doctors, in terms of number of people for 1,000 is very less compared to the requirements and compared to the international standards in India. And India, more probably Kerala is slightly better in the perspective in India is concerned.
Yeah.
So it is good for the society, good for the people, as well as good for the healthcare institutions, that the awareness of healthcare positives on people, so that people are careful in not acquiring more diseases, and people has to be healthy so that the actual diseases can be treated properly and the hospitals can look after them very well. So that way, it's an opportunity also for healthcare to have a better healthcare delivery system effectively implemented. That's what I feel.
We talked about the domestic tourism, and you also said it's a very good learning for me that actually Keralites visiting Kerala. That's a great thing, actually. Okay, it's a great learning. Okay,
Look at my background, Munnar. Anyone you see this picture will go there.
Absolutely, it's a very enchanting, captivating, actually, indeed captivating.
Now, after COVID-19, after the non-stopping of environment pollution, the complete nature has become very vibrant and
yes. Nature has actually really bloomed up. Nature really bloomed up.
Absolutely.
And the air is good. You can breathe very good
air is good. The sky is blue.
Yes, the sky is blue. Yes, that is true.
After this, there will be a good rain to wash out everything.
That is right. So in this domestic tourism, don't you think that I think the banks have a major role to play? I'll tell you why. Because now people will be wanting to do only discrete spending. They may not be wanting to go and do huge spending. Splurging they may not do. So if you have to really encourage domestic tourism, the bank loans, etc., at very convenient interest and convenient payable terms, etc., they should do, isn't it? Even if the domestic tourism has to be encouraged, we need to see that the banks and financial institutions really need to help the people to encourage them to travel by giving them loans at a lesser percentage of interest, isn't it?
Actually, the bank should come out like they have different schemes.
Yes.
They have different schemes for buying a vehicle. They have for buying a house. Or buying many household things. They have different schemes.
Yeah.
And they should create a segment for holiday.
Yes.
Right. And a holiday segment with the loan amount with the 10 to 12 installments or 24 installments with the low cost interest.
Yes.
Because that can be a very good product for people to move on holiday. In fact, the bank should grab this situation and try and come out, because banks are always looking for opportunities to give their loans to people. So this is a good segment for which they can use it for people to utilize it and have a holiday. Two things will serve. One is the holiday. Second thing is their money is properly utilized.
Yes, and it will not become an NPA. Unlike big people take the money and going. It's
going to be a small amount. It's going to be 50,000 rupees or 1 lakh rupees or 2 lakhs rupees.
Yes.
The maximum for a family holiday, which can be paid off in 24 installments. That is 10,000 rupees per month. Which is not going to be a burden for anyone to spend that kind of money.
Absolutely.
If people are taking 2 lakhs. So
have you already advised this to the minister and the financial institutions as a representative of the industry?
We have not told them so far, but we will be telling them. We will actually tell the tourism ministry to call a meeting to the bankers and tell them that this product has to be introduced by the bankers.
Absolutely.
So that the holiday can be encouraged. And that will be a good gesture from the bank side, and that will be a great help for the people who are looking for a holiday also.
Yes. Sir, if you really look at international travel, you said that only the business people will start traveling now, and later only maybe September time frame next year, we will see the international tourists, etc. coming. Now, in the coming interim period in the travel segment, with the social distancing factors put in a flight, they may say the middle seat cannot be used because 1 meter diameter, 1 meter radius has to be maintained. And this is going to shoot up the cost like mad. Buses cannot fly with more than 20 people, because in a bus, normally 50 people, 60 people go. This will become 20 people. So how it will become economically viable to do this travel during this interim period?
It's a very, very practical question you are asking, because, the apprehension of travel will be there for people to travel in a close to kind of a situation.
Yes.
So initially, I think the distance has to be there. Otherwise, people will not travel.
Yes.
See, probably after a few months, this apprehension will have to go.
Yes.
Will have to go.
Yes.
So if you are able to control the case, because otherwise, what happens? Impossibly expensive. The kind of situation will come for air travel, because if instead of 2 people or 3 people, if 2 people are traveling or 1 person is traveling, it's going to be very expensive. Almost double the cost will come.
Indeed.
So otherwise, the airlines will not be able to survive.
Yes.
And that cost people will not be able to afford.
Yes.
then people will not travel.
Yes.
And people will use the Zoom or the technology methods to conduct their business activities.
Yes.
So immediately after the COVID, the business travel has to move on very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Then only the holiday travel also will come, because business and holiday also are there. Combined travel is also there. So it is very important that the governments have to find out a vaccine and find out it has been utilized. And this situation is, the distancing situation has to be raised as early as possible. Otherwise, it's going to be a serious problem for our life, after COVID-19. Like after 9/11, we had undergone a complete change in our life.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So after COVID-19, all of us will be experiencing a complete different kind of life. Like you said in the business, in the chai webinar, you said, zero start. Let us all start again and again from day one.
Yeah.
After 40 years of existence in business, we are going to start as a zero level.
Yeah.
Like you said, Aichan Guchan. So
I use a local colloquial language.
It's a local colloquial, but I like it so well.
Yeah.
So I always keep that in my mind, because I was having the same opinion when I heard from you. I was so happy and thrilled about it.
Yeah.
So the business has to carry on. So the apprehensions have to go. The distancing has to be completely out, and then the normalcy of life has to come in. But at the same time, precautions have to be there. Like for example, you are wearing a mask. That's fine. There's no problem.
Yes.
Or you are wearing a full sleeve shirt. That's fine.
Yes.
If necessary, you want to wear a mask in your hand. It's fine. There is no problem. So all those things are fine. But important is that people have to be together and travel and things like that. Otherwise, impossible for anyone to sustain either an airline or a hotel or a traveler or anyone in the transportation business.
Sir, just look at it. We have spent more than 32 minutes. It just flew like this, so much of, you had given me so much of input, so much of learning. So I would ask you the last question of the day, because we'd like to limit it to half an hour segment, because that is when people come to see it more. When the duration is more, people will not come to see. We would like many people to come and watch you speaking. Now, what is your advice to youngsters? Because Kerala is also now number 3 in terms of startup enterprises in the country, after Bangalore and after Gurgaon and Delhi sort of scenario. So for the startup entrepreneurs as well as for the early venture entrepreneurs, what is your advice during these COVID times? What is your advice to them now, sir?
No, the startup entrepreneurs are the future of this country.
Yes.
And everybody has recognized that the innovations they are coming out with is unimaginable and probably unthinkable as far as the older generation like us are concerned.
Indeed.
And, but when we see the changes which is happening in the startup business activities, we feel so happy and proud of our youngsters.
Yes.
They have so many beautiful ideas, innovative ideas, and digital ideas, and they come out with different kinds of products, services, and bring it up, and which is useful to the community and the society and the nation. My best appreciation for the startup ventures, and I always encourage them and support them. See, the message which I want to give to them is basically, startup is very good. There is no problem.
Yes.
But important thing is start a sustainable model for startups. This is very important. Because there are so many startups which we know have come up with a lot of ideas, but because of the inexperience of sustainability, a lot of them have gone
pushed down, or they've gone away. Yes.
So evaluate the whole thing very well and make a financial model which can sustain within a period of 2 years or 1 year or 2 years or maximum 3 years time, and look at only those kind of ways and involve in startups and implement it. Otherwise, what will happen, they will be frustrated after the business is gone down and they make a loss, and then they will be completely discouraged, and that is not good for the startup organizations at all. Yes. So there has to be a mentor for startups, or mentor organizations in the startup. Professionals have to be there, and they should be giving proper consulting to them to create a sustainable model financially and otherwise, so that this will be a greatest contribution for the future generation and for the society.
Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have just heard entrepreneur and wealth creator par excellence. In Malayalam, we say, "Sir, Tangaloru Prasthanamana." That is what an entrepreneur par excellence, Mr. E.M. Najeeb. Thank you very much. We will interact again in the interim period. All the very best, and like what do in COVID times. Namaste to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. S.R. Nairji, my great friend. Thank you for your wonderful questions and excellent introductions, and also very good, summing up. It's a great opportunity for me to talk to, your people, and I'm so happy and proud that you have selected me also as one of the participants for this program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Take care, sir. Bye. Bye. Bye.